He had no food in his stomach and no credits on the electricity card needed to keep going the fridge that stored his insulin. His bank balance was £3.44.
Joe Stevenson, Deputy Leader of Cumbrian County Council, threw himself from the roof of his home as he struggled with massive local authority cuts. He died 3 weeks after the fall, after guiding Cumbria County Council to £90 million in savings over 3 years. He told a meeting shortly before he died last year, "No one enters politics to have the opportunity to make cuts."
The majority of cases don't make the news because the news don't want you to know. These cases manage to get into local papers, into independent papers. The majority of people have no idea how many people are dying, and that those huge numbers are made up of individual people. But these individual cases are out there, and in the public sphere. If anyone's interested, one of the ways when I'm not at the festivals that I do some campaigning is, when people die because of a fire or because of a road traffic accident or something, people put up a little picture, put up some flowers to let people know that someone died here, and people stop and look and hold them in their hearts as they read their story. And so what I do is I print these out, put them up on lampposts and town centres, wherever we can. Put some flowers on so people know someone's died. People stop to look who's died, what about the community have died. And they get to know what is happening. So these cases, and at the bottom I've got where you can find out more, and that these are just the typical missing. And all of us can do this. This is an act that all of us could do in our local communities. So if you would like to have some of these, they're all in JPEG format. If you leave me your email, I can send them to you. You can print them out. And your local council will regularly take them back down. If it's the site of someone who's died because of a road traffic accident, yeah, then Green Dance, for instance, such as Diana died, and left it up for ages and let people come and mourn. But when it's this, the local council will take them back. Sometimes they will be kind and leave it up for a few days. Most of them will take it. So you just need to print it out and just keep going out. Let people know the people are dying. Let people know to join together and stand in solidarity and demand justice for these people who died. They've not died, they've been killed. Let's call it what it is. It's murder. They've been killed. It's like in Palestine. It's not that all those people have died. They have been murdered. And we need to call out what it is. And across the planet, disabled people are being left. In the climate crisis, when there's a flood, most people who are disabled or blind, they don't even get to run away from it. There's a fire, there's a flood, there's a fire. The UN eventually in 2020, 2021, recently actually published a paper about how For example, climate justice. For over 50 years, Greenpeace have been doing phenomenal work about the climate, about the environment. But it's only in the last few years that they realized that for all the work they've done, the situation has not gotten better, it's got worse. They've managed to stop a few things. They managed to sound the alarm and raise awareness. But the situation has actually got worse. Why? Because that is just a symptom. It's not dealing with the root causes. And so, Greenpeace UK have produced a 10-minute long video, which I'm recommending to everyone to have a look for and share. And it's 10 minutes long, and it looks at what's racism got to do with environmental destruction. They're joining the dots. They're now working with Deepak. They're now supporting and realizing that we can't have that sorted without and so it's 10 minutes long. It looks at the roots of the climate crisis and where we are now in environmental destruction. It looks at where we're heading and where we could be heading if we change how we do things. All in 10 minutes, which I find really quite impressive because I take so long to be able to convey anything to anyone. I'm like to go all over the place. 10 minutes, brilliant, I love it. So do look for it. Do look up Deepak on social media. They're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. And join and add your support and amplify. Even if you can't go to any of the actions, share the action, share the videos from it, share the photos from it, share the message. Keep raising the alarm, keep sounding the alarm, keep raising the awareness until everyone knows the truth. And the truth will get known. I really believe that. If you think of the word computer, in the 60s and 70s, the majority of people have never even heard the word computer. They've never ever thought, dreamt of ever owning a computer. The first computers was huge. Now we can have computers in your glasses. It's just incredible, the change and how quickly we just accept that truth. We now, around the world, people talk about the climate. They talk about Palestine. The Palestine problem is over 75 years old. People have been talking about it, sharing. I think a great guy called John Pilger, died recently. But if you look him up, you look at Palestine, Palestine is still the issue. He's been talking about Palestine for decades. So many people, the Palestinians, have been talking about it and trying to get the news out to the world for decades. Finally, that is now something that the world is talking about. But those who want to control the narrative don't want us to talk about the truth. And so, with every issue, whether it's the climate crisis, whether it's the disability crisis, whether it's the NHS crisis, whether it's the Palestinian crisis, whatever, as soon as people come out and start marching about it, start talking about it, guess what happens? They get silenced. They get attacked, they get imprisoned, they've taken away rights to just protest, they've taken away rights to vote, right to vote, except they made it so hard for people to even register to vote. And as it is, thank you so much. And so, when they're attacking all our rights, and not letting us tell the truth, we've got to be clear and find our way. I've been doing this for a while, and so I know for a while that on Facebook, for example, if you share political stuff, they'll try and slow you down. They literally call it slow down. Yeah, they say you need to slow down or we're going to close your account. And so then what you need to do is share a pretty flower, share a cute little puppy. Yeah, get them to go, okay, you're doing what we expect you to do. Share your breakfast, share your dinner, share all the things that mean nothing. But try and tell us the truth. Try and tell us about an action that's happened. Yeah, we think this might be spam because we've seen so many people sharing it. We think this is that you're going too fast. Slow down or we slow you down. Yeah. Do a capture to prove that you're a human. They'll do everything to try and stop you. But the more they try and stop you, the more you know you are on the right road. You are the truth sharer. People who don't want the truth will do everything they can to stop you. What we need to remember is our power. We need to remember who we are. Our biggest message to anyone is remember who you are. Every one of us is a taxpayer. They like to make us think that only the people in work are taxpayers. But every one of us is a taxpayer through VAT, through council tax, through indirect taxation. Apart from, of course, those who are tax avoiding. And as taxpayers, our taxes are supposed to pay for our health service, for our welfare system, for our social security, for our pensions. Your NICs are going to pay for your pensions. It's not a benefit, it is a right. They've lumped pensions in with the benefit system so that they can say, look how much we're spending on benefits. You're not spending it, we've already put the money in it. You're returning it to us. We need to understand what they're doing and how they use words to cheat us and rob us. We used to have a Department of Health and Social Security, they changed it to Department of Work and Pensions, now they want to change it to Department of Work. Yeah. But in that name of Department of Health and Social Security, they let people know that the government had a responsibility in a contract with us. The contract is we paid in, you pay out. And you pay out for our health and social security. You left, from cradle to grave, no one was left hungry. No one was left homeless. No one was denied their human rights. No one was would have to fundraise for a wheelchair or for hospital treatment. But slowly they eroded it. They made dental care harder and harder to access. They made opticians harder and harder to access. We've now got a dental crisis. We've got a crisis where people are pulling out their own teeth because they can't afford to go to a dentist. And we are all being robbed. Every single time a person is left hungry or without the treatment they need, or without the access they need, or without the rights they need, it's not just that person who's being robbed, but every single one of us. And not just every single one of us here now, but every single one of us will, since the health service was created, since the welfare system was set up. We paid into that system, knowing that whether I ever need it is not the question. The question is we're putting it in so that collectively we care for all of us. It's also robbing future generations. When they're closing down our NHS, future generations aren't going to be able to access what was set up for them. The people who set it up at the end of the Second World War. At the end of the Second World War, people like Harry Leslie Smith, who'd grown up in destitution and poverty, they stood up and said and fought for. And the Tories tried so hard to stop that health service being set up. But they fought for it and demanded that we had it so that everyone had equal access. Health was not the preserve of only the rich. Health was not only for those who managed to get the attention of the rich, who could then give magnanimously to support this poor person here, or this poor destitute here. It was not dependent on their charity. Our health and our social care and our pensions were not dependent on the few controlling whether you were worthy or unworthy. It wasn't a question of worthy poor and unworthy poor. It was a question of no one should be poor. Everyone should have enough to eat. Okay, we might not be able to afford the best of everything, but at least everyone should be able to afford housing. Under the Tories, homelessness went rampant. People had hardly had any homeless people in their streets, and suddenly it's just everyone. And most people have never heard the word food bank, and suddenly it's everywhere. And I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Even inside hospitals, they've got food banks to feed their staff because they're not paying the staff enough to eat, not paying the staff enough to have a house. There are nurses living in their cars. And this situation has happened not just because of what they're doing, but because collectively our inaction, our silence, our ignorance of what they're doing. Once we have the knowledge, once you know there's a problem, you can't solve a problem until you know there's a problem. So the first thing is raise that knowledge about what the problem is. Then we look at, okay, now we know there is a problem. How do we deal with it? What do we do to solve the problem? And that's what DPAC is about. DPAC is about raising that awareness, about fighting, about the direct action to keep raising that awareness. We block bridges long before Exile was even imagined. We were blocking bridges, we were blocking streets, we were taking our actions inside Parliament. They're a huge tool inside this government, but we need to be a little bigger. And with your help, we will do what it needs to be able to change that. And I can speak to you, but I can never speak to the people you will speak to. You will never speak to people they will speak to. But if every one of us knows that once we know the truth, we need to be that truth sharer. We need to step out of our comfort zone and do what it takes. And know that you don't have to know everything. When I started, I just knew that one figure, and I was so angry and so upset and so frightened about it. That's when you can kill off 10,600 people in plain sight without the media saying anything. Can you imagine it any other walk or group in society? If they murdered 10,600 people, if 10,600 people had died in any other community, it would be in a place. But because we're disabled, and then the darker their deeds, the brighter the truth shines, and the more of us become awake to what's happening. And the more silent they are about what, and the more they try and silence us, the louder we need to be. We need to go. We will not be silent. We will not be silenced. We will demand justice for every single one of these people who have died. We will stop you killing any more of us. These aren't us. We are for every single one of these people. We're not separate. We're not separate from any of the species of people. We're not separate from the indigenous people whose land you're taking. This division that they've used to enable this, we have to do the opposite. They divide to unite. They use hate to use love. And they use fear, they use trust. They use the narrative of not enough. And we give, and we give, and we give. And even when you're tired from giving, you think, I've got no more love to give, you will still find it, because we are creators of love. Our love is infinite, and our love is not just from our hearts, it's infinite because we're empowered by the love of previous generations who've given us this weekend, previous generations who fought for our rights, for our NHS, for our pensions, for women's rights, to stop children being sent up chimneys. It's the love of people, and when we listen to our hearts, we can hear the ancestors say, we did it, however scared you are, we can do it too. We can hear generations to come, empowering us, reminding us what we in our time need to do so that they can have what we have now, including our rhinoceroses, including our elephants, including our bees, including our life. They're pushing all of life to extinction. If we, in our time, do something, we can actually change that. We're on the cusp of incredible change. I find it really exciting, the change that is coming, that we are creating. We are the only creatures on the planet that have fallen for the lie and illusion of money and leaving the power in the hands of a few and feeling powerless for the rest of us. No other creature needs a visa or a passport to travel anywhere. No other creature needs to apply for planning permission to build a house. No other creature needs someone else's permission to can you walk here, can you walk here. But our schooling system teaches us that we have no authority and no power. Our schooling system teaches us, may I speak now? Can I answer a question now? May I go to the toilet now? May I go home now? Accepting authority over you, having respect for the authority, having respect for us all collectively and individually, yes, have respect for each other, but having this unacceptable level of respect for authority, we will not earn that respect. In fact, they do quite the opposite, and never accepting and knowing any respect for your own authority, your own power. We need to come back and be centered in our own hearts, because together we can change it all. When we know that even a grain of pollen can go anywhere in the world without money, without borders, that brings us at someone else telling them they can become what they can do. In the ancient pagan tradition, it was an imperative, do what you will, as long as you're hurting her. Walk gently, because she is you. Every blade of grass is you. Every fellow human being, disabled and non-disabled, is you. When we remember this, we are so empowered, like those people standing up for Palestine, sitting down for Palestine, speaking for Palestine. Those children and young people who are being brutalized by the police. Those people who are standing up for our planet and being imprisoned for it. When we know the truth, when we know our power, when we know we can keep speaking the truth, they can break our bones, they can put us in prison, like they did with Nelson Mandela. They put him in prison and in solitary confinement for all those years. They did that the same to Assange. They tried to break you, but when you know what you know, when you allow love to be your guide, when you remember that you are the generator of love, there is no power, there is no destruction on this planet that can change that. That's the biggest bit of knowledge you need to know. And then you need to help grow the rest of the knowledge. And once we all know the truth, we all stand up to the truth. Their game of chess and monopoly and world domination, all those games end. They don't end with the revolution. The revolutions that we've had have been led by people who've been visionary enough to see that we can change. But they've never had what we have. We can, with the press of a button, we can send a message across the planet. No other generation has had the tools we have. We have the connection, we are capable of the change. We're the first generation that can really be that final change and be the evolution, not the revolution. The revolution just went round in the same circles. Every time they toppled one set of power, they created a vacuum of power into which another lot of despots stepped in. We don't need a revolution. We don't need a bloodbath. We don't need to fight them. We just need to be the change makers. We need to be the love in action. We need to be the connectors. We need to create that unity and community, not just in our local communities, but seeing our entire planet as our community. And when we see that, we change everything. And when we see that the intersectionality of it puts disabled people at the bottom of figure, wherever you are in the world. When we start speaking of disabled people and equality, we start speaking of gender equality, half the planet, more than half the planet is women, female. And yet, who owns the planet? Who's handful of really rich men, white men. We need to change the structure. And they're terrified, and because they can see us rising, and so they're trying to gain more power, more money, save as much as they can before all hell breaks loose. We don't understand that we don't want their castles. We don't want their gold-plated towers. We don't need them. They can hang on to them. We're going to be that change. We're going to put love into action till every single being can thrive. Until they're trying to move us to a cashless society so that they can have complete and utter control. What they don't understand is that idea of a cashless society is the last nail in their coffin. Because for now, people are going, okay, you pay with the card. But it's sinking into people that at the press of a button, they can put money into your account. At the press of a button, they can wipe your account out. In China, if you agree with the government, you go up in your social standing, you're allowed to get jobs, you're allowed to eat here, you're allowed to do all sorts of stuff. If you don't, they can stop you even getting on a train or a bus. If someone buys you a train ticket, that person is blacklisted too. But the more they do these things, the darker their deeds, the more people are absolutely horrified and go, what the hell? We're not having that. We just do a gift economy. We don't need your money, we don't need your cards. We've seen through an illusion. We're no longer going to be the only species that is dependent on the illusion of money. We're going to be the species that joins all the other species and live freely on nature's abundance. And we're going to start working with nature. There's a fantastic video that I recommend to everyone, and it's called Green Gold. Do look it up. It's by John Dennis Liu, and it's about the regreening of the deserts in China and how quickly nature responds when we work with nature. It's a video that gives me huge amounts of hope, and I hope it will help you to hold on. I hope it will leave you, despite all the numbers that people are talking about, despite breaking your heart with all your stories. That every time our hearts break, cracks open a bit more and allows it to empowers us. So let those tears flow. Feel the pain. Don't look back. Let your heart grow and know that you are the generators of love, the generators of change. You are the way to change the world. You can be the love in action. Together, we are unstoppable. Can you keep it going? Can I ask you if you've got any questions or any comments? I've also got a comment book, so if you wouldn't mind, please do write in my comment book. I'd like some feedback. So yeah, open to questions. Anyone got any questions? Quick questions, you're next.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Any quick questions?
I did have a question about, but this might be it'll be quite a long question and a long answer, so we might want to just go over to your turn. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else got any questions?
Yeah, we're a bit late.
No. Okay, sorry. Okay. If you've got any questions, do come to my tent and we can have